Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming back to my blog posts. Today is day 4, I believe. Yeah, today is day 4 of 5 days of I Am. And just to recap, the last few days, day 1 I talked about being loved. Day 2, I talked about being chosen. And day 3, I talked about being enough. And today I'm going to talk about being powerful. And this idea to remind yourself that you are a powerful person. And regardless of the things that may happen in your life, you can't control the things that happen in your life necessarily. Things happen and you can't control the reactions of others, but you can control yourself, and you can control the way that you respond to things. And remembering that you have that power to choose whether you're going to let this thing affect you, whether you're going to let this thing determine the rest of your life, determine your destiny, or if you're going to choose to be a powerful person and say, no, I don't receive that, whatever that may be in your life. And so in Philippians 4:13, it says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And so many times we hear verses like that as Christians, and in those verses we're like, yep, I know that one, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. But in our minds, we kind of reword it. And in our brain, it becomes, I can do certain things, maybe, depending on how I feel, depending on how this thing goes, depending on the way that it works out for me, I can do certain things. But no, the scripture says I can do all things. Everything that every dream that I have, every passion I have, everything that God has placed in my life, I can do that with His strength that He's already given me. He's already created you to be a powerful person, and to not be a victim, but to walk in freedom and to walk in power. And your past does not have to be the only thing that defines you. And I say the only thing that defines you because I've heard a lot of people say your past doesn't define you, or the past is the past, and just move on to the future. And I know what they mean, and I totally agree. But in this situation, I feel that it's important to remember that your past has a part to play in your life, because it's created you to be the person that you are today. And if you're someone who's still struggling with your past, maybe you had a very dramatic, painful past that you want to let go. And I believe that there's freedom in that for everybody. But not only is there freedom from your past, but there's a grace and a power and an ability that comes when you choose to use your past to help others, when you choose to use the thing that maybe you didn't want to talk about years ago, that now that you're in this place where you're a powerful person and it doesn't affect you the way that it used to, you can now use those things. You can now use those tragedies. You can use those disappointments to stand up and say, no, I have power. I'm still here. And there's a reason that I'm still here. And that is to, impact a generation of other people who are probably going through the same thing. Because it's a part of who you are, and it's a part of what shapes your life. For me personally, I was that person who, growing up, I was that girl who didn't want to go to any women's events. I didn't want to go to anything that was talking about beauty. You're beautiful, you're loved, you're whatever. I hated all those things, all those women's events, because I had such a brokenness inside and such an issue with rejection and with identity issues and disappointments, that I didn't want to be in those situations because I couldn't receive it at that time. I didn't believe that they were true. I didn't believe that God had a plan. I didn't believe that I was beautiful. I didn't believe that that He created me to make a difference. And as I got older, and I realized this idea of walking in power and the freedom that God's already given me, I began to see a passion for things that I didn't know I had. And surprise, surprise, one of those passions is to be able to speak to women, to speak to girls about their identity, and to be able to speak those truths into them, that they are beautiful, that they're chosen, that they're enough, that they are loved. Because I know when I got to that place that I could receive it, when I got to that place where I understood it, it changed everything for me. And so it's something that I'm passionate about. And so that's just an example of how you can use something in your life to make a difference, not only continually for you, but for somebody else as well. And so I just encourage you guys today to be reminded that you're a powerful person. You know, you don't have to let things just happen to you, but that you can choose how you're going to react, how you're going to respond. And that you don't have to walk in such a way of being a victim, but that you can walk in power. And so I encourage you today to look at yourself in the mirror and remind yourself and say to your reflection, I am powerful.